Oh, oh, oh. साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most merciful Mother Sai, whose grace is the only reason why we have come into his fold. It's his grace by which we not just know his name, seen his form, we continue to get inspired listening to his message that gets relayed to us through his messengers, the ones who had the blessings of several interactions. And today we have someone who's not new to our Sai Govind Satsangh. So let me first start off by apologizing to Swami that you knew a way how every week things could still run, but you also sowed the thought that you could come up with an excuse if there was a delay or if there was a postponement. Apologies, Swami, because probably suddenly we thought that we are the ones who bring speakers every week, forgetting that it is you who brings the speakers, who gets the satsang to happen week after week. There were lots of thoughts in our mind, and I was coming up with a lot of excuses on why we should not be able to do every week. Can we move towards a monthly satsang? And one fine day, while reading the Sai Satcharita, there was the chapter where Baba says that just listening to his stories is alone enough than any other sadhana. Because through that process of listening, there is a transformation that starts within you, and that transformation is very, very organic. And I was telling myself that I should reach out to a speaker who's not going to say no, because earlier there were a couple of speakers who said yes, but due to unforeseen reasons, they had to pull out due to other commitments. Now that, COVID is all gone, we're all back to our busy lives. And we have various reasons and excuses why we can't get together and do this that we were doing all through that other period. So I reached out to Professor Gangadhara Sastry, and I said, Sairam, sir, would you be able to talk about the Shiva Shakti Swarupa and the Shakti Swarupa avatars? And he said, can I come back and talk on the significance of the Sri Sathya Sai avatar? And I actually forgot about his message. 2 days later, he calls me, he sends a message. Am I not speaking? Am I confirmed to speak on this day? Are we okay? And that is the message from Swami saying that, you know what? I know what you have to listen to. I know who has to send that message out to you. All you just do is be available. And today, all 14 of us, we are available today to listen to the satsang from someone who needs no introduction, but I will just do a very brief one. He's that person who has given me the definition of what civilized means as relayed to him by Swami. Someone who came in to become a faculty of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning in 1979 and continued to do so officially till 2014. And then post-retirement is an honorary professor. And he has been teaching and holding several administrative positions in the university, including director of the campus, member of the university's academic council, chairperson of the board of studies. And Professor Shastri, above all, has been a practical person who has gone through an organic process of transformation by just being in the physical presence. And for those of you who have read the Radio Sai interviews or the talks that have happened on his transformation process, and also listening to him in part 1 of the Satsangh, you will know that he's just like us when he came to Swami, but he allowed himself to go through a process of change. And today we are blessed to have him to talk on a beautiful topic, which is very, very pertinent for us to understand in greater depths, which is the significance, relevance, and the uniqueness of the Sri Sathya Sai avatar. Praying to Swami to be with us as through the process when Dr. Shastri is going to be talking to us. Jai Sai Ram. Over to you, sir. You have to unmute yourself, sir. So you have to unmute yourself.
Is it okay, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, perfect, sir. Perfect, perfect, sir.
Thank you. Om Sri Sai Ram. Offering my most prayerful salutations to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu. And at the very outset, thanking you for blessing me with this wonderful opportunity to be able to interact with all of you today. I thought that it is more appropriate that I share my thoughts on two important aspects of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu. The first thing is the significance of this avatar. It's a very, very vast subject. To speak on the significance of this avatar in a very short time is a bit difficult task. But I would like to place a few of my thoughts across to all of you. And I would like you all also to contemplate on those thoughts. The first and the foremost thought that crosses my mind is Bhagavan himself declared as to why he incarnated on this planet during this particular period. Swami himself declared, and he made that declaration on a number of occasions through millennia, millions and millions of years of human history on this planet, knows God incarnates again and again and again, as and when he feels it necessary to establish dharma. Dharma is a very, very, very complex topic actually, and a great concept. There are a number of concepts which are given to us by our great good fortune to make our lives sanctified on this planet. There are two questions which are never answered till today by anybody, nor we need to have any kind of confidence that we ever be able to answer these two questions. If any one of you know the answer for these two questions, I would like you to share those answers with me. First question on which all avatars spoke, Vedas, Upanishads and Itihasas at length dealt with. And also when you talk about sages, saints and seers, highly accomplished people, self-realization who accomplished. And India is really the greatest country on the planet because we are the only people who are blessed with that sacred wisdom. It's not available anywhere in any part of the world. The first question is, where from we arrive on this planet? This is the first question. Where from we come? We don't know. Because maybe there are some brilliant people who would say, I am given birth by my mother and I come through the womb of my mother. Then the immediate question would be, How did you enter your mother's womb? Who put you in your mother's womb? And then how you are manufactured in your mother's womb? Who manufactures you? As I am speaking to you right now, Bhagavan Baba used to tell us, as I am conversing with you right now, countless number of souls are arriving on this planet in various forms. Human beings, animals, birds, beasts, trees, everything has got its own life form. Where from these things arrive on this planet? We don't know where from these things come. Though you say it is a soul, what is that? It is not easy to answer that question. The second question is, where do we go? Because everybody will have to leave. It is a short stay on this planet. Once you leave, where do you go and what is it that leaves? These are two questions which are never answered. And Bhagavan Baba said, this is the reason why you need to have faith in a power called something like supranatural force. Supranatural force is the one which conducts this entire universe. The entire universe. When I say this entire universe, I would like you to imagine in your mind, expand the mind and see the entire universe. It is a very big concept and an idea which, until and unless we expand our mind, we will not be able to see that in our minds. We should be able to see it in our mind. Because Bhagavan Baba, one day while interacting with all of us teachers in the interview room, he said, you people try to understand God, you people try to realize, you people try to accomplish lots and lots of things, and you think that you know everything, but let me tell you, it is impossible for you to crack the secrets of this universe. It's not possible for you. You try through what you call as science. Through science, you try to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Okay, you go ahead. But he said there are certain things, probably through scientific investigation, you will not be able to realize at all. And that is the reason why Bhagavan Baba said, spirituality begins where science ends. Science ends and their spirituality begins. You have to go beyond science to understand spirituality. I'll give you one small example, or I will share with you one small example which Bhagavan Baba placed before us on that day while explaining this concept. He said, out of all the things that are created by God in the universe, everything is complex. The most complex is human body, he said. Human body is the most complex mechanism. However much you say that I understand, it's not possible for you to understand totally. And Bhagavan Baba said, in the mother's womb, when life begins to take a form, it is in the form of a drop, just in the form of a drop, that's all. And the drop automatically goes on growing and growing and growing on its own. Its own it grows. Nobody actually interferes with its growth. Nobody is responsible for its growth, including mother. The mother who is carrying that drop in her womb is also not responsible for its growth. It automatically happens. Now the drop goes on growing and growing in its form. And slowly, if it were to be a human being, say that it develops over a period of time, it develops a body, then the body begins to expand. As it expands, it develops a number of bones, a number of veins, a number of mechanisms, a head, hands, then feet, legs, and every other organ is put in its place. but at the same time, the organs are so complex. For example, you have the eyes. An eye is not an ordinary organ. It has got a lot of lenses fixed in it. The lenses are connected to your mind with the minute nerves. There is a big nervous system which is working. The mind is in its place. And then the mouth is there, nose is there, ears are there, neck is there, throat is there, heart is there, pancreas, liver. So many organs are brought together. They are put in place and a form is prepared in the womb without the interference of anybody. Automatically it is manufactured. But the most complex thing above all these things is the Panchendriyas, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas are placed in proper positions. It's very tough to understand actually how it happens, how the Panchendriyas are fixed into the system, how the Karmendriyas are put into the system, and how they function. When the period is over, 9 months period or so, most probably, the manufactured good is thrown out of mother's womb automatically, and it begins to struggle to grow outside. And when you look at it, the joints of the bones, there are so many joints where you are able to move your legs, hands, fingers, head that side, this side. Hundreds of functions are performed by various organs, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of functions, which probably we cannot explain how all this happens. Behind this, there is that spiritual aspect. This is a physical aspect. The spiritual aspect is more complicated. Swami was saying the spiritual aspect is more complex because when you talk about Jnanendriyas, the Jnanendriyas are so very powerful. Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. They are formless. You can't see them actually. It's not seen, but it is there. What a fantastic mechanism it is through which spirituality is revealed to us. God reveals himself through these Jnanendriyas. If we don't want to accept, God doesn't bother about it, because whether you like it or not, it is there. The most important secret of human life, which I want all people to understand, is whatever we do, whether we do or not, whether we like or not, whether we accept or not, it doesn't matter to God at all. This fact we must register with us. Whether you pray to God or not, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. If you pray, you are benefited. If you don't pray, maybe you have to face the consequences. That's all. For all your karmas, you are responsible, and God doesn't bother. God won't say, come for my darshan. If you go, it's okay. If you don't go also, he doesn't bother him. We must be very, very serious about some of these things in the world. Why I say this is, some people we call good people, some people we call them bad. How do you make this distinction of goodness or badness? Good people are those who have got great concern for everything existing around them. They don't want to disturb anything. They don't want to cause any pain to anything in this world. They want to be happy, and they want everybody else also to be happy. And there are some people who don't follow this principle. They don't mind causing pain to others. They don't mind causing pain to others, and out of that pain, they would love to be happy. These are all qualities which actually I do not think either human or categorized in any other way. You cannot categorize them, because this is something like a sinful way of doing things. You are causing pain to others and you are being happy, means that is not the way nature wants you to live in this world, because you are a part of the nature. You have to be one with the nature. respond to nature, don't disturb the nature, live on the lap of the nature, protect nature, and then again merge back into nature. This is the process actually. Nature wants it to happen like that. So when we talk about jnanendriyas, which are not seen, but they are there. How they are there? How do you say jnanendriyas are there? I will give you one example. As I'm speaking right now, you are able to hear. How is it that you are able to hear me? That means there is what is called as a sound, and it travels, and it is traveling, but we don't see it. You don't see, but it is reaching you. You are receiving it. It is transmitted. It is explained within split seconds, and it is digested by your system. How does this happen? So quickly, so fast, the mechanism is working, but it is not seen. It cannot be felt. You cannot just catch it. You cannot hold it and say that this is the system working. No, it cannot be. Sound is something like that. Again, to give you another example, you talk about, say, taste. You taste a number of things. When I put something on your tongue, say, for example, gulab jamun, you say, oh, fantastic, very sweet, very, very good. Suppose I put something bitter on your tongue, you may say, oh my God, it's bitter, throw it out. But what is sweetness? What is bitterness? How do you explain actually? Is it possible for you to explain in a language? This is bitter, give me meaning. You can't give its meaning. Bitter, you cannot give meaning. In the same way, he is angry. Give me the meaning of anger. Or he is happy. Give me the meaning of happiness. The most subtle and surprising aspect is that supreme, supranatural, universal consciousness that is taking so many forms and working through us. This is there everywhere in the entire universe. That is the beauty of universal consciousness. Universal consciousness, which is there outside in the entire universe, is the same thing which is very much in you. That is why in Vedas and Upanishads, when they tried to explain this universal consciousness, they said it in one sentence, which is quoted by all avatars. Bhagavan Baba extensively quoted it. You must all be aware of that quotation. Anorani Mahato Mahiyan. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. It is as subtle as an atom. It is as huge as this universe. It is spread all over everywhere, wherever you want. It is for you to feel it. If you are able to feel it, you can see it is everywhere all over the universe. That is why these are the jnanendriyas. When they are working, it is not possible for you to explain in any language. Language will not come to your rescue. But there is something more than language which will make you understand that. That is called as experiencing. It is experience. You have to experience it. You cannot explain it. How do you experience it? I put actually gulab jamun on your tongue, you experience the sweetness. When you are experiencing the sweetness, suppose your child is going to ask you, Dad, how is it? You say it is sweet. What is sweet, Dad? You can't explain it. You have to do only one thing. Put a gulab jamun on his tongue and tell him, taste it, and how do you feel it? This is what is called a sweet. So he will have to experience it. Your experience is different from his experience. You can only make him experience, you cannot explain. That is actually the subtlety of the spiritual aspect of super consciousness. Consciousness, supreme consciousness works at that level. Until and unless we go to that level where we are able to experience it and really feel it, and then try to transmit it to others so that they also enjoy it and they also live a spiritual life, it is not possible for us to really understand it in the worldly sense. But at the same time, the biggest problem in the world is there are two aspects with reference to human life. One is the physical life and the other is the spiritual life. There are two, but both are there very much with you. Two in one. You are actually not one, you are many. Bhagavan Baba many times said. If we talk from the educational point of view, we go to school and we study a number of subjects and we are lost in all these subjects. And then if you want to understand in that context that you are not one, you are many, then educational level, at the school level, for our understanding what we say, there is a social aspect, there is a political aspect, there is an economic aspect, there is a sociological aspect, there is a medical aspect, there is a science aspect. So many aspects are there in you. You are not one, you are many at the same time, whether you realize or not. But you need to realize it. Until and unless you realize that you are not one but many, you will not be able to play all those roles in a harmonious manner as to make it holistic and the purpose is accomplished. It's not possible. So you have to play all those roles together in such a way that you are following dharma. By playing all those roles in a harmonious manner, doing justice to every role is very important, so that on the whole, you are following the righteous way. Swami used to tell us about this. For example, Swami said, when you are talking to your children, you talk in the role of a father. You are a father. You are standing there and talking as a father. When you are talking to your father, you are talking as a son. When you are talking to your wife, you are talking as a husband. When you are talking to your friend, you are talking as a friend. When I go to a shop, I am talking as a customer. When I am traveling, I am playing the role of a passenger. Same time, so many roles from morning till evening, you are playing hundreds and hundreds of roles without your own knowledge. But Swami says, consciously playing all those roles and bring about a harmony in all those roles as to do justice to righteousness will actually be the fulfillment of your life. It's a tough role. It's a tough job. That is, all these things are summed up through spiritual wisdom. The spiritual wisdom is very important. As I just now mentioned, physical and spiritual. Physical and spiritual should go together. You cannot say that physical is different, I will do something else different and would like to enjoy the spiritual benefit. That is not possible. You have to be physically pursuing the spiritual goals. That's very important. So Bhagavan Baba always said, you are living in this world. Organs, what they do is, they are so powerful, they drag you into this world. 24 hours they drag you. Every minute they drag you into this world. There is a conflict, big conflict with every human being, which is an eternal conflict. It is not there today. It is there ever since human beings are there on this planet. It will continue. It is not that you can really resolve that conflict. It is not easy. People will have to resolve that conflict on their own. You have to do it yourself. You have to put in efforts to resolve that conflict. What is that conflict? In simple terms, the conflict is called as the conflict between the head and the heart. The conflict is called as a conflict between the head and the heart. Swami used to talk about it all the time. The head, it functions at the worldly level. In the worldly level, what happens is, you are attracted by wealth, you are attracted by beauty, you are attracted by your relations, you are attracted by material things in the world which attract you. To possess those things, you will do anything, because your head says, come on, grab it. Your mind goes on saying this is important, come on, grab it, more and more and more and more. For example, I want to earn money. In an endless manner, I pursue earning money. How much money do I require to lead this life in a, say, comfortable manner with a basic comforts and all that? I won't think like that. I start earning money and I go on and on pursuing that goal in an endless manner, which will make me mad. So what happens? I run after money. Somebody will run after power. Somebody will run after something else, beauty. Somebody will run after material benefits. Somebody will run after promotions. Somebody will run after more and more motorcycles, vehicles, buildings. This is, why am I doing this? We have no answers. Because you are running after the world and you are lost in the world, and in that run, as you are running and running and running, Bhagavan Baba said, you will never find a fulfillment and ultimately you collapse running. That will not take you anywhere. Now, what you need to do? Bhagavan Baba, one day talking to us, he said, I will try to explain this in your own language. You will understand it very easily, he said. And he talked economics on that day. He spoke economics for some time. A simple point of economics he spoke on that day. That point he made was, you people should make a distinction between wants and needs. You have to make a distinction between wants and needs. Wants are many, unlimited. There is no limit to wants. Your wants multiply every minute, go on and on and on multiplying. Your needs don't multiply actually. Your needs are minimum. Your need is minimum. You take an example, Swami explained it with this wonderful, beautiful example. In India, since times immemorial, because it is the motherland of spirituality, the Vedas and the Upanishads and the Itihasas and the sages and saints and seeds and realized souls, all of them, they divided life into 4 ashramas. Simple, 4 ashramas. Brahmacharya, Grahastya, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. This is a divinely ordained order. It is given to us. So we have forgotten it. We are not talking about it. We don't even know it actually. I'm very sorry to tell you. We don't even know. Maybe some people know it. But most of the people in the world do not know that there are 4 ashramas ordained through Hindu scriptures. And when I say Hindu scriptures, don't misunderstand me, because Hinduism is defined by Bhagavan Baba and various other people not as a religion. It is described as a way of life. Hinduism talks about a way of life. That's all. It's not a religion. There is a way of life. This is the way people are expected to live. There are conditions given to us, and we say that these conditions are good for you. You will be able to lead a comfortable life and have a comfortable departure from this world. You will depart also comfortably. When I say this, maybe how do you depart comfortably from this world? We might have some doubts, but let me tell you, when I was a boy, this is about 50 years back or so, in my village, as my people, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers and all my relations used to talk about the earlier generations, earlier generations to them. Those people, I believe, my great-grandfather, my great-grandfather's grandfather and others, I believe they used to predict their death. What they do, in the village, they come home and say, keep everything ready. I am departing day after tomorrow. I will go. I am leaving this world. And then they say, spread a mat outside the house. Outside the house, they spread a mat, and the man comes and sleeps on that and says, bring some tulsi tirtham, put it in my mouth, and go on doing japa and those namasmarana, go on chanting the name of the Lord into my ears, and within a few minutes or so, you to depart. They used to have a premonition of their departure from this planet. But today, we die of heart attacks, we die of broken hearts, we die measurable death. I don't understand. Why don't we believe all these things? So the avastha, the ashrama avastha is ordained so that you lead a comfortable life on this planet and depart from this planet in a peaceful manner. So brahmacharya is one ashrama. What is brahmacharya ashrama? Brahmacharya ashrama, of course, Hindu way is you perform Upanayinam at the age of 8 and then ask him to go ahead with acquisition of wisdom, acquisition of knowledge. Go on learning shastras. Go on mastering wisdom. Whatever knowledge you want to do, you do. You learn it. And you go to ashram and stay there with a guru. It's not that you go to a school, there is a fixed timetable. That fellow, those people will teach you whether it is useful to you or not, whatever they feel like teaching. And then they drive you into the mad world where they ask you, go on minting money left and right. This is not the way. Not at all. You are sent to ashram to be living with your guru and his wife, Guru Patni. And the guru is a realized soul. And the realized soul, he makes the students sit around him on the floor. They sleep on the floor. They lead a wonderful spiritual life. Get up early morning, go to the river, take bath, come back, comfortably sit there and lean. And they are very happy with the minimum, bare minimum. They live a beautiful, wonderful, normal, simple, comfortable life. Bhagavan Baba hundreds of times mentioned this to us. And whenever Swami was talking about it, I am extremely fascinated. It touched me somewhere where I began to think, oh my God, Swami, you are really God incarnate. You are really God incarnate because, Swami, you actually started an ashram called Prashant Nilayam in Puttaparthi, and you make people get up at 3:30 in the morning. Just as those people used to get up early morning, you make them get up early morning. They take bath, everything, rush for Suprabhatam and Omkaram. They were also doing the same thing in those ages. After Suprabhatam, Omkaram, go for Nagar Sankirtan inside Prashant Nilayam, and then go for bhajans. You give darshan, you pick up people, charge them, they get spiritually charged. From morning till evening, it is spiritual wisdom being granted to people who ever approached him. First point. Second point which I liked is, ashram is organized in such a beautiful philosophy. In ashram, every room is a single room. Every room is a single room with a single kitchen, a small toilet and a bathroom. And there are no cots. No cot at all. Anywhere you will not find in ashram. If you want to buy a cot, you buy your cot, but Swami won't provide cots and nothing will be provided. Simple room will be given to you with the expectation that you will sleep on the floor only. Sleep on the floor. All people, single room. Maybe if you think that he is an official brought by Swami, given a very heavy responsibility to him, maybe he will give one extra room. Nothing more than that. The proof is, let me tell you, I am living in Prashantranam Ashram for the past 45 years and I don't have a cot. Me and my wife, we sleep on the floor. We spread a bed on the floor, roll the bed, throw it out in the veranda, and it becomes a drawing room, a dining hall, everything. Live in only one room, one small kitchen, toilet, bathroom for the past 45. Not me. I will tell you something, a highly revealing fact. Many of our vice chancellors, of our university vice chancellors, this university, Celestial University, started by Bhagavan Baba in the year 1981, is headed by highly accomplished souls in India. Extraordinarily accomplished people occupied positions of vice chancellors in our university. And Bhagavan Baba asked them to stay on the campus, Prashant Nilayam campus. Same accommodation is given to Vice Chancellor also. He lives in one room, maybe one room extra. You sleep on the floor. At the most, maybe you get a cot. You have one table, one chair. That's the end of it. Live in that kitchen, small kitchen and all that. Do we have this system anywhere in this world? Anywhere. Everybody wants a house with half a dozen rooms. I don't know what you do with half a dozen rooms, one office room, very big room, that, this and all that. Except that you are running after worldly pleasures. What is it that you are doing? Vasishtha lived in a poor hut. Probably it is a thatched shed-like thing in which Vasishtha lived, Vishwamitra lived, Jamadagni lived, Kashyapa lived. So many sages and saints, you cannot count their number in India. You countless number of sages and saints and saints. Even today they are there. Don't think that it was a practice which was there earlier and today it is not there. Across India, there are so many spiritual ashrams. Sivananda ashram is there. Ramakrishna ashram is there. You have Ramakrishna, Chenmayananda mission ashram is there. Vivekananda ashrams are there. So many. Sathya Sai ashram is there. Shirdi Bhagavan ashram is there. You have Raghavendra Swami ashram is there. So many. Ramana Maharshi ashram. So many. Wherever you go, still by the grace of God, the same tradition is maintained where people are asked to live a simple life. Why? Because in a simple life, you will find a definite fulfillment. You get used to it. Swami himself lived in one room. Bhagavan Baba lived in one room. Ramana Maharshi lived in one room. Raghavendra Swami lived in one simple room. Shirdi Baba lived in one room. What is our problem? As we go on aspiring for more and more rooms and more comforts and all that, we are getting used to those comforts. And when that comfort is withdrawn, I tell you, you feel the pain. Here, there are no comforts at all. We don't look for any comforts at all. Whatever is there is the greatest comfort we have. We don't mind sleeping on the floor. And people, have got servant maids, that, this and all that. No. Bhagavan Baba said, you will clean all your vessels yourself. Go ahead, do it. And another beautiful aspect that Bhagavan Baba built into human life is Sevadal organization. Seva organizations are so very beautiful, I tell you. I was wondering when I was doing my doctorate, when I was doing my PhD, Bhagavan Baba told me, go to Hyderabad, there is a professor, ask him that he should guide you and also tell him you are sent by Bhagavan Baba to him. I was shocked. When I went there, that man was not ready to guide anybody. He was an aged professor. He stopped guiding people for PhD. And then when I told, he said, Babu, I am not guiding anybody. You go back. The minute I told him, sir, I am sent by Bhagavan Baba to see you and seek your guidance. He said, oh my God, Swami sent you. Please come in. Immediately I was welcomed. And he treated me as his own son. He took care of me like his own son all through my PhD work. He loved me so much. Wherever I went, in fact, he was taking care of me so much that I was sometimes feeling ashamed. He was telling, serving you is like serving Bhagavan Baba, he used to say. I said, sir, what is this? He said, no, Swami sent you means it's not an ordinary thing. And that professor of mine from Osmania University came to Prashant Nilayam. He was a member of the Sevadal organization at Hyderabad. He was doing duty at the gate with a scarf, sending people inside, calling them inside, doing namaskar to them, Sai Ram, standing there. And somebody, a VIP, was actually taking care of the chapels of the devotees. A lot of devotees are cleaning the plates in the canteen of the people who ate food and left there. When the devotees want to clean, they don't allow them. Sir, don't clean. I want to clean it. Give me this opportunity to clean your plate. What a kind of culture that was built by India. Is it possible for us to understand? its significance. This is the significance of this avatar. And avatar has gone to the maximum extent of declaring one day that you consider me as God and you want to worship me. But let me tell you, my friends, I am here to serve you. I have come here to serve you. Let me serve you, people. You all must have witnessed the picture of Bhagavan Baba just before going to the hospital on the final day from which he never returned. He left his body. On that day, he, with folded hands, did namaskar to all the people in the Sai Kulwant hall. That picture went viral. He did namaskar to all the people. That was the first time I saw Swami doing namaskar to all the devotees. He was taken and he went away to hospital on that day. And somebody told me why he was doing namaskar to all his devotees. Because you patronized me, you loved me, you cared for me, you prayed for me. I express my gratitude to all of you. God goes to any extent. It is only man who doesn't go. What a sad story of man. Because you know why? Man is full of ego. Your ego is your enemy. Swami said, you think your enemies are outside. No, they are all within you. You are an enemy to yourself. You can't greet somebody by bringing both your hands together and doing namaskar. You can't do it. Bhagavan said sometimes, hundreds of times, you cannot bring both your hands together and do namaskar and say Sai Ram. No, you will not do this. On the other hand, Bhagavan Baba told us, do this to everybody, he said. He made it actually mandatory in ashram that all the devotees, whoever greet each other, say Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Don't say simply Sai Ram, spell it out. Bring both your hands together and say Sai Ram. Why should you do that? Why should you bring both your hands together, bend and say Sai Ram? Why? It is a process by which you kill your ego. It is a process by which you kill your ego. You cannot do namaskar so very easily until and unless your ego is dead. Touching the feet of somebody, going to somebody and greeting him. Bhagavan told us that even when we greet our students, he said, say Sai Ram to them. Sai Ram, Sai Ram. We do this to our own students who are children. We do Sai Ram to them. Swami said, when you do Sai Ram, it is not to the body that you are greeting, it is the soul within that body that you greet. And until and unless you are able to make a perfect distinction between the body and the soul, you cannot become spiritual. The body is gone, it goes, it falls. Jatasya hi maranam dhruvam. Jatasya hi maranam dhruvam. It is perfectly said in Sanskrit. It will go. It has got to fall. It will. Without any doubt, it will fall. That's all. Whoever it is, everybody, whoever comes with a body, the body will have to go. The eternal thing within the body, by the greatest good fortune of being Indians, revealed to us through Vedas, is Atma, the soul. Where is that? You never know where it is. A seen body actually is maintained by an unseen force called soul. A body is seen. You can see the body. But this body is maintained by something which is fantastic. Extraordinarily powerful thing is within the body which is maintaining it and performing unique functions which are impossible for us to realize and understand. For example, seeing. You see something. The split second you see, the message is sent to your mind and mind analyzes and tells you this is this. You see a snake on the road, tuck, within 1 second. Even whether you see a snake on the road or not, when Gangadhara Sastry mentions it, you see it in your mind. How fantastic it is. It simply happens. How does it happen? My God, an unbelievable mechanism. You cannot understand this. You have to experience it. That's all. No language can explain this. Why don't we try to analyze and understand the illimitable, and something which is supreme, highly fascinating, limitless soul and its power? Why are not we understanding? Bhagavan Baba was talking to us and said, when I mention something, you can see it though you are sitting in front of me. You sit here, as I am talking to you, we are all talking to each other. I'll mention something to you. You will see in your respective position sitting there what I mentioned to you. I say Taj Mahal. You see it. Even before I completed the word, the picture is implanted immediately on your mind. I say banana, you see it. What is that mechanism that is working so fast in a fabulous manner? What spiritual power it is. That's why Swami said, within every human being, there is a spiritual powerhouse, he said. There is a powerhouse in you. And once you realize that powerhouse and pursue that powerhouse, the spiritual powerhouse, you will become a divine being. Why, you become a divine being because the spiritual power has got an innate nature to make you a perfect being by making you pursue goals which are completely dharmic. I don't aspire for anything in this world. I am happy with whatever I get. This is again connected to the ashram system which I talked about. You are a brahmachari, you learn knowledge, seek knowledge. We are also doing the same thing. We are all going to universities, taking degrees, MSc, MTech, BCom, BSc, so many degrees we are taking. We are pursuing knowledge. But the problem is, as long as knowledge remains knowledge, it adds to your ego. That is a big problem with knowledge. A person who has got degrees and associate himself with those degrees and thinks he is highly knowledgeable, I'm very intelligent and all that, you are forgetting that you are becoming more and more insignificant being in this world. Your ego is getting boosted up. The more and more your ego is getting boosted up, you are getting closer to bestiality. You become a beast. It will convert you into a beast. Because you know what happens? It develops what is called as self-centeredness. You become self-centered. Self-centeredness is extraordinarily dangerous. I'll give you only one example. How self-centered we become. Bhagavan Baba told us, you bought something and you are eating. Maybe you bought a bun, a bread, or something you are eating on the road, and some child who is extremely hungry, he is looking at you. You are not hungry. You bought something and you are eating. You already ate. And just like that, you bought and you are eating. And you see somebody there, very hungry, looking at you. Are you ready to give that food immediately to a hungry soul? And when that soul is consuming it, will you really feel extraordinarily happy and great contentment within you? Can you do that? This is one step. Bhagavan Baba said this is one step. You give it to them. Second step, go a little higher. Buy a lot of food. Having eaten, buy a lot of food. Go in search of people who are hungry. Go out. Go on the roads. Find out who is hungry. Go on distributing them and sit there when that fellow is eating. Oh my God, the joy you really feel makes you divine. Are you ready? Are we ready for that? Lot of questions we need to ask ourselves. We are not ready to give anything to anybody. We are much interested in accumulating more and more and more and more in an endless manner. Bhagavan Baba one day told us, he was showing his palm. He showed his palm like this and said, you know, Gangadhar, this hand, it knows only giving, it doesn't know how to take. This knows only to give. And I understood it as, Swami, it is not only the hand, your hand that gives, you have given away yourself in the service of the society and the world. He has given away himself by walking out of his house. He told his mother, I don't belong to you. I belong to the world. I am going away. He came away. He sat under a tree, started Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Shankaracharya walked out of his house. Ramana Maharshi walked out of his house. Vivekananda walked out of his house. We talk about them. We praise them. We give talks about them. We don't want to do. What a pitiable state it is. Why don't we follow at least to some extent? That's why Bhagavan Baba said, I don't want you to give away everything to others, but start giving at least something. Be dharmic. Unless you follow dharma, how do you sanctify your life, knowing that this life will come to an end? One day or other, you will perish. Before that, if you look back, what is it that I have done by living on this planet for so many years? I did not do anything except exploiting the nature and the other beings all around. That's not the thing expected of a human being, because human being is not a joke. Let us realize that human being is not a joke. Human being is the most significant creation. Human being, human birth is the glorious, very great blessing that is not easy to accomplish. Jantunam narajanma durlabham. Durlabham is not an ordinary word. Durlabham, impossible to be a human being. Jantunam narajanma durlabham. Jantunam, when Bhagavan Baba was explaining to this, he said, you know why this sentence, why it is explained this way? Jantunam narajanma durlabham. He said, there is a heavy meaning, very heavy, heavily loaded sentence it is. What is that heaviness in it? First thing is, Jantunam, out of the animals. Out of the animals. Out of the animals, Nara Janma, to be a human being. Nara is a human being. Nara Janma, Durlabham, impossible. Now, Swami said, when I say Nara Janma Durlabham Jantunam, you are also included as an animal in that category. You are also an animal. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. You are also an animal. But the only thing is, you are a refined animal. Unless you go through many janmas, you don't accomplish Manava Janma. It's not easy. Actually, when Swami was talking to us in the interview room, explaining this to teachers, Swami looked at all teachers and asked, do you have any doubt about this? Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. Oh, and you carry a lot of animal qualities within you, and unless you are you have gone through so many lives of so many animals, ultimately you land up with human birth and all that. Do you have any doubt? He said. We didn't say anything, but out of mercy, out of love. Master has got great mercy and love towards students. He wants the students to be very clear about what he teaches. You go with perfect knowledge. So Swami said, you want to know how after so many births you become human being. I need not explain to you. You go onto the road. After interview is over, after everything is over, just go onto the road and see that side and this side. You will find a lot of dogs, donkeys, pigs, buffaloes, and so many other kinds of creatures, birds, beasts, snakes, scorpions, so many things. Why? Why those are like that? Why are you like this? Explain, he said. How can we explain? No one can explain. Why I am a human being? Why something is a pig? How can I explain? And what is the distinction between the animals and the human beings? Bhagavan Baba said, the power to discriminate between good and bad, the power to know what to do, what not to do, the power to have fulfillment of life, to see that give pleasure to others in the world. There are many, many things which you can do. You are blessed with this great power. That's called discriminative power. That is given only to human beings. From here, what you need to do is you walk on a road that only redemption is your goal. Redemption. Now, no more births. I want to be out of the cycle of birth and death. That's why you better understand it is Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. This is possible to understand only when all knowledge is translated into wisdom. Knowledge should not remain knowledge. Knowledge should get transmitted or translated into wisdom. Wisdom is when you want to do something, when you want to talk something, when you want to see something, when you want to experience something, whatever you want to do, first of all, you think in your mind. Even when you want to speak. Why? Indian spirituality has gone to the extremities of purity. Extremities of purity. It does not compromise. Indian spirituality does not compromise. It wants the ultimate. Ultimate is the only one recommended. For example, there is another principle. If we think, we will understand that extremity, extreme levels to which it is taken. I would like to share some of my thoughts on this concept called Trikarana Suddhi. You must be knowing Trikarana Suddhi. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam, Mahatmanam. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam. It's an excellent concept. Manasyekam, what they say is, in your heart of hearts, in your mind, nobody knows actually what is happening in your mind. Not possible. Even your wife will not know it. Even your father, mother, children also will not know what you are thinking. It's impossible. Your mind is yours. You are thinking something. Now, according to the wisdom given by Vedas, even in your mind, in your heart of hearts, you should never think of anything bad. Not even a thought. This is really very, very, very tough actually. Not to think of bad. I don't think anybody will be there who does not think of some bad or the other. Every day. But you have to practice and see to it that you don't think of any bad at all of any kind. No bad thought should cross your mind. No thought at all. Thought level. Highest level, no thought. Now, what they say is, this thought in the mind is expressed in the form of word. Manaha, it comes in the form of vak. Vak is word. No bad word should ever be spoken. All your life. You should never. That means somebody is saying something. Suppose you lose your temper and you get angry a little bit. Shut up, you say. No, you are not supposed to say that. You can't say that. Because if you say shut up, probably it is hurting the soul of the other man. You can't hurt. You have no right to hurt the other soul. That's called sin. You can't. You can't say a word. You can't be angry with somebody. You can't use bad words. You can't have bad thoughts. You can't have bad behavior towards somebody. Oh my God, that's why I said it is extreme levels of spirituality. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam. Now, what I think in my mind, the same thing I should speak. What I speak, I should put in practice. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam. These three should be one and the same. when there is this identity of all these things, identical way of harmonious blending of these three, you become a spiritual master. For this, how is it possible? It's not easy. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna himself said, millions of people try to become spiritual. No, only one among millions and millions will be able to do it. It's not so easy. It's very tough. But there is a method, though it is so tough and it is not easily available. There is a method, he said. What is that method? Bhagavan Baba also said the same thing because he was Krishna during that age, Dwapara. He was Rama at that time. And he is everything. He is Sarva Devatatita Swarupa. So God himself, he himself declared, I was Krishna in those days. I brought all of you at that time. I was Rama at that time. You were all with me as monkeys. Again, I brought you now in this incarnation. You are all my students and staff members. Come on, continue. So now, what he said is, at that time, what he said, he repeated here. This is possible for you by practicing what I told you in Bhagavad Gita, that is Abhyasa Vairagya. You have to cultivate these two. Abhyasa is practice. Vairagya is detachment. Abhyasa and Vairagya. I think what we need to do is early morning, whenever we get up in our houses, all of us, what we need to do is put on Suprabhatam. It is available on Radio Sai or YouTube or wherever it is. Listen to Suprabhatam, sit there for some time. And then listen to bhajans. Then listen to stotras. Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. So many stotras are there. And finish everything. Take your bath and do some puja. When you are doing actually Abhishekam, if you want to do, Namakam, Rudram, Chamakam is available on YouTube itself. If you don't know, put on Namakam, Chamakam, Rudram, everything. Go on, do Abhishekam or puja, whatever you want. Let there be Vedic chanting in your house 24 hours going on, or as much time as possible going on. Let there be stotrams being played in the house to the extent possible. Go on listening to Radio Sai, go on listening to bhajans all the time. Go on listening to Swami's discourses all the time. You are not only practicing it, it becomes like that after some time. Automatically you will go, get up and put on Suprabhatam. Automatically your mind will tell you, hey, come on. Why did you have to put it? Come on, put it on. And you are listening to it. After some time it will say, hey, play. Dakshinamurti Stotra, come on, play. Abhyasa, your practice. You do it for 10, 15 days, 20 days, go on doing it. Your mind will drive. Because, you know, it is beautifully said again, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Whatever you think, you will become that. And bhajans night, before going to bed, you know, you put on bhajans and go to bed. It will be going on playing. It will get registered in your mind, and the mind, you know, the thoughts will be carried for janmas and janmas and janmas. It will be carried forward for janmas. Whether you believe it or not, recently science is proving, when they play music and go to milk the cows, the yield of the milk is so much that people are stunned. Your mind is power. Mind is not anything. There is some power in my mind, in me. Why? In you, in all of you. That power is the one which is making you move. We are moving, we are talking, we are doing that, we are doing this, everything because of the power within us. The minute that power goes out, that power leaves the body. Baat khatam. Immediately, Shivam becomes Shavam. The body is just thrown out in the dustbin. What happened? Swami asked, what happened? Why do you throw the body out? Because there was something which was sustaining the body and performing millions and millions and millions of functions without your own knowledge. That power within you is called Atma. When it goes out, it becomes a part of the entire universe. This body is thrown out. So the body is called an instrument. This instrument you should care for. You should maintain it carefully. So within and without, both ways. There are always two. The worldly aspect, the spiritual aspect. Both aspects. That is the reason Bhagwan Baba started the university and he said, in this university, I want to do something unique, something special in the university, which is not done anywhere in the world. What is that? Secular education and spiritual education. I don't want secular education only. I want secular education because people should go get jobs, earn money. They should live. They have to fill their bellies and run their families as long as they are on this planet. Secular education is very, very important. So I will give you secular education, but not without spiritual education. Why? Spiritual education will make you a real human being. Otherwise, what happens? Bhagavan Baba gave a wonderful example. He said, if you say education is like a bird, education is a pigeon. It's a pigeon flying very happily. One wing is secular education. The other wing is spiritual education. With both wings, the bird is intact and it soars any height. Otherwise, today what is happening according to Bhagavan Baba is we are giving only secular education. We are not giving spiritual education at all. I'm sorry to tell you, in India, all over the world, everywhere, people are running after only secular education. Spiritual education is removed completely from the universities and schools everywhere. So, the spiritual aspect is missing in each and every individual. With the result, they are running after the world, forgetting the very purpose of life on this planet. No, that's not acceptable because you become dangerous to the world. That's what we are. The way we are pursuing our material benefits today. Swami said, you are running after material benefit to such an extent that there is air pollution, there is water pollution, there is earth pollution, oceans polluted, everything is polluted. Ultimately, he said, your mind is also polluted, Swami said. So much of pollution in the world. Who caused it? You caused it. Why did you cause it? Because one wing is broken completely. And with one wing, the pigeon cannot fly. With only one wing, you are flying. And that will cause tremendous destruction to the world. In our homes, with our families, with our father, with our mother, with wife, with children, 24 hours, let us aspire at home level at least, that we have bhajans, discourses, songs, all spirituality. Anyhow, we are in the world. We are doing our job. Along with that, let us do this. The whole house reverberates with the spiritual teachings, bhajans, and according to Bhagavan Baba, even the walls will get sanctified, he said. The walls of your home will get so much sanctified, there will be spirituality getting attached to the walls also. I'm not joking, because Swami said, when you approach some people, you go to some people, you have positive vibrations. When you go to them, you will get positive vibrations. When you go to some people, you get negative vibrations. When somebody enters your house, he automatically knows he did not enter a house, he entered Prashanti Nilayam. Your house becomes Prashanti Nilayam. Get assured from me, I am telling you, we do it here. We do it here in Prashanti Nilayam. All people in their respective rooms, they are there chanting bhajans or listening to stotras, doing pujas and all. We are also in the world only. We are also doing our jobs. But why is it that people say that people in Prashanti, you are very fortunate? Because Bhagavan Baba groomed us in such a way that we look to God at the same time pursuing secular education also. Probably the only thing we do is we give more weight, more value to spiritual education and less value to secular education. And we don't run after material benefits. We have enough. We are contented. And Bhagavan Baba said, contentment is spirituality. To be contented is spirituality. So these are the most important things on which we need to contemplate. And also we should imbibe, digest all these ideas and lead a comfortable life, not listening and forgetting. That won't serve any purpose. Put it into practice. Put it into practice. Every day when you get up early. Start. Do everything. This is it. This is it. This is my job. Do it. And don't interfere in others' jobs. Don't criticize others. Don't get into anybody's life. Let them lead their lives. Try your best to put people on the right road. If they are interested, let us introduce ourselves to them and put them on the road which is laid for us by Bhagavan Baba. This is what it is. Join Sevadal. Do Seva. Nothing like doing Seva. Nothing like doing Seva. When you are doing Seva, better you understand that you are giving great joy to people. When somebody is sick, if you go to him, give him something, some fruits to eat, read a book to him, give him some help. Nothing like that in the world. Just like, suppose a man walks to your door. It is a summer, hot summer. He is walking. He walked for 1 or 2 miles. His throat is drying up. He comes and knocks on your door. When you open, sir, I'm damn thirsty. Can you give me a glass of water? And then you rush inside, bring and give him a glass of buttermilk with a little salt, with a little nimbu in it and all that. He drinks, he looks. The minute he takes it, he gulps it inside, the joy that you see, notice on his face. My God, invaluable. Invaluable, I tell you. That glass of buttermilk which you gave him so much of contentment and joy. You did a fantastic thing. Let us do such things where let us aspire to give joy to others. Give joy to as many people as possible. That's what Bhagavan Baba said. What you need to do is give joy to others. Live for others. Live for others. Live. That is spirituality. Living for others is spirituality. Living for oneself is probably the very bad way of living. No, we are not here to lead a bad way of living. No, we want to live for others. We want to live for others. Bhagavan Baba said, I have come here to serve all of you. So God himself said, Lord Krishna did it. Lord Rama did it. And finally, let me tell you one thing. Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata, all these scriptures, when you look at that, Bhagavan Baba said, he explained to us the significance of these scriptures. When you look at Rama, do you find Rama really enjoying life in the entire Ramayana anywhere? No. You don't see Rama really enjoying life. He suffered actually. He suffered and suffered and suffered. To such an extent, his wife was abducted by somebody. His wife was kidnapped by somebody. But still, in the adversities, in the face of adversity, somebody who maintains his personality and continues to establish dharma, lives for only dharma all the time. That is Ramayana. That gives you a lesson, a wonderful lesson. And when you talk about Mahabharata, oh my God, so I was surprised when Bhagavan Baba said, Dharmaraja was the son of Yamadharmaraja. Yamadharmaraja, not a joke. Bhima was the son of Vayudeva. Arjuna was the son of Indra. Nakula Sahadeva were the children of Ashwini Devatas. They were children of celestial beings. And after Kauravas tried to burn them in the house of lac, they somehow saved themselves. They went away to Ekachakrapura, incognito. They went to Ekachakrapura. And what did they do there? They stood in front of every house in Ekachakrapura. They said, Bhavati, Bhiksham Dehi, Amma, I beg for food. Please give me some food. They begged. Dharmaraja begged. Bhima was begging. Arjuna was begging. Ashwini Devatas were begging. What a kind of trouble. What kind of problems they faced all through their lives. But they did not. They never left following dharma. Dharma will follow at any cost. Bhagavan Baba was always saying, you don't need billions and billions actually to lead a good life. Whatever money we have, it is sufficient for us to lead a good life and also to give good life to many others in the world. Let us try that and let us sanctify our lives by following this path laid by Bhagwan Baba for all of us. And with these few words and few thoughts sharing with all of you, today I enjoyed this wonderful opportunity, and I thank you very, very much. And I express my deep sense of gratitude to Bhagwan Baba for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share all these thoughts with all of you today. Thank you all very, very much. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, sir, I need to thank you, sir.
If anyone has got any questions, we still have a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
And,
sure.
If any one of you have got any specific questions on today's topic, very practical, pertinent, the namaskar of Swami, that we need to adopt in every day, from greeting to surrendering our ego every time we meet someone. I think then life will be simpler, right? Wish we could do that more often.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has got any specific questions? Because I think the whole purpose of at least I saw a significance today that the very essence of just coming to the satsang has been beautifully and subtly brought in this whole 90 minutes on why this happens. And I think that came in quite a few times in the satsang in different ways. I see quite a lot of, I think I'm happy to have one of our first speakers from our satsang. I think Brother Arunodhian is also here. This journey of listening to all of you has been the process where we stay connected to Swami, and we try to imbibe the lessons that each one of you have received and connected to our own life experiences where we have felt the divinity, but probably we don't have time to acknowledge it, or we have not stopped to acknowledge that it is His will that all of us are here today, or all of us are in the path or the ashrama created by Swami, as Dr. Shastri rightly put it today, in that process. Anyone has got any questions? I seem to be rambling, but if anyone has got any, then we'll have that. And I'm going to come back to Dr. Shastri. Can't unmute. I'm sorry. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, my mistake. I'll do that. Just give me 1 second. Unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead. I've done that. Please unmute yourself and ask the question. Brother Gururaj, you had a question.
Sairam, uncle, it was extremely down to earth, and it was very pointing to our daily lives. And thank you for such a wonderful sharing session. I just am struggling with how to articulate this question in my mind. Because we keep hearing discourses and then it goes off and then the regular life starts after the call is over.
Yeah.
So this is the pattern. At least I cannot speak on behalf of others who might be, trying to put practice into what they learn, but at least I'm talking about myself. But the mind keeps justifying. You brought up a very good point of wants and needs.
Yeah.
At some point of time, the mind keeps justifying a want as a need. We conveniently convert a want and justify ourselves as a need. For example, having a second house, a third house, a fourth apartment, a second car, or luxurious goods, costly furniture, jewelry, more wristwatches, and things like that. All materialistic things, it keeps on going. So, but look at Professor Shastri himself. You are leading by example, and you quoted as to how simple your life is and how even vice chancellors live this kind of a life. So what is the Swami has also said that we should not be part-time devotees where we say Sairam and the bhajans come and then we get back to normalcy, right? So what will be the real motivating factor? I mean, I'm not sure if everybody can go back to Prashanti Nilayam and stay in the ashram. We don't have so much of space. So what will be your advice? And the other thing which I just wanted to express my feeling is, at least from my point of view, we are always worried about the future. So we think that if I maintain my current standard of living in the future, I'll be happy, for which I think my current amount of finance is not enough. So we end up adding to the bank balances and try to fight our insecurities with this bank balances, which, I think there is one brother, I think it's Gopal Rao or somebody which we have read that who was taking care of Sai Gita, who was the chairman of Indian Bank or something, who Swami gave him 45 rupees per month and he lived on that earnings. And Swami said, and he said that itself is very high for him. So how do we just break free from this hypocrisy of attending bhajans and discourses, but living our original lives and accumulating wealth? How do we get away from this, Saira?
Sairam, it's a wonderful question. There are some points which are to be contemplated on with reference to this real question. It's a real question. It's a real question with great intensity and a great depth in it. First point I would like to make is spirituality is always called an individual business. Spirituality is an individual business. That means you have to become spiritual yourself. Because Bhagavan Baba said, I tell you what to do, but don't think that I will hold you by your little finger and make you walk on that road. I will not make you walk on that road. I won't lead you. I will show you the path, and you have to walk yourself first. That means whether your needs and wants, what kind of needs I have, what kind of wants are there, is for every individual to ask himself that question and give a justified answer. You have to give actually an answer to that question yourself. When you think of buying something, at the same time, when you ask yourself a question, is it necessary for me to buy that? Is it not possible for me to live with what I have today? And if you think that you can live with what you are having today and without acquiring something else, you can do it. You can do it. For example, sometimes I was wondering, I retired as a professor in this university, and Bhagavan Baba, it's not that he did not give me salary. Every month till I retired, he was giving me fabulous salary, a lot of money. But the thing is, Bhagavan Baba, what he did, I could look into it. Luckily, by his grace, I could look into a kind of life being dictated by him, not in the open way. In a discreet manner, he was dictating a life to people in ashram. In a discreet manner. He never said this actually openly. When he gave me one room, my problem, you know what it is? If I buy a cot, I have to stand in the veranda. I cannot live in that room. If I buy a table, then it will be a nuisance to me. I have to go into the veranda because there's no space. So what you need to do is see to it that there is no space in your place for you to buy goods. Why should I buy goods and all that? Is it necessary for me to buy? One thing. Second thing is, with minimum goods, I can live. I was wondering, my relations themselves told me, he is actually like my own boy, my brother-in-law's son, working at Hyderabad. When he said that, he studied here. I got him educated here for about 7-8 years actually, from intermediate to MBA. He is doing a good job and lives in Hyderabad today. And he calls me and tells me, Mawai Garu, I am buying a house of 1 crore or 2 crores. I said, all the education which is given become a big waste. 1 crore of rupees you buy a flat. I said, what is it? Is it necessary for you? You can live in a small flat. It is not necessary. If you are trying to buy, probably you are trying to satisfy your ego. That's it. Because you want to show off to people in the society that I'm living in a very big flat, 1 crore, 2 crores, 3 crores and all that. Not necessary. Lot of people, I will give you one example, you will be surprised. Let me narrate a small story. There is a lady who is alone in my village, and he lost her husband. She doesn't have children. She was looking for a job. She doesn't have a job, anything. She was not able to feed herself. We in ashram were looking for somebody to cook food for our mother-in-law. My mother-in-law lives alone, a very old woman. Her name is Seshamma. Even today she is here in ashram. Seshamma Garu is still here in ashram. If you happen to visit ashram, you can meet her also. She is in the shed. And this Seshamma Garu was brought by us with permission from Mandir authorities. We engaged her to cook food for my mother-in-law, who is very religious. She is a Brahmin lady. So she was acceptable to my mother-in-law. She was cooking food for my mother-in-law for years. Every month we were giving her 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, giving her food and shelter. She was allowed to stay with my mother-in-law in the same flat. She was living and living and living. 1 year passed, 2 years passed. One fine morning, this Seshamma Garu went to the bank and asked the manager, how much money do I have in my account? And that bank manager said, madam, you get say 2,000 rupees every month, 24 plus 24, 48,000. Maybe 60,000 total by now, 2.5 years, you have 60,000 or so. She didn't talk to us at all. She just went to bank. She's an illiterate. She can hardly sign. She went to the bank and said, sir, deduct 55,000 rupees from my bank account and put it in Swami's account. Manager said, madam, you have only 60,000. She said, don't worry, do it. Just transfer 55,000 transferred. She came and told us, we said, Seshamma Garu, you have only 60,000 in your account, you simply transfer 55,000. How could you do that? What will you do if something tomorrow crops up? She said, what sir, Shastri Garu, what are you talking? Swami will take care of me. I said, how Swami will take care of you? She said, yes, he is taking care of me now. Now also he is taking care of me. I don't have a husband. I don't have children. He showed me a job. I am cooking food in your house. I am eating food. I am living in ashram. And a place is not given to anybody in ashram. Seshamma is given. I am given a place. I am doing. He will take care of me. I just mocked at her. I said, nonsense. This is all mental. Again, after 2-3 years, she did the same thing. She gave. She lived with us for about 6-7 years. She gave away all her money. One fine morning, I don't know why, she wanted to go away from here. She was having some 5,000 or so. She said, I will go away. I want to spend time with my brother who is somewhere there. He will take care of me, so I want to go away. I said, Seshamma Garu, your brother will not take care of you. I know him. And you will be in trouble. Don't go. She said, no, he will take care of me. And she went away. Yeah, she went away. She's from Narsipur in West Godavari district. And she left our place, Prashanthalayam. She went away. After weekdays, suddenly I found her standing on the pavement in Puttaparthi outside near bus stand. I went to her and asked, Seshamma Garu, what is this? Why are you standing here? Then she said, I am sent there. I went there. And my brother threw me out of that house after weekdays and said, I can't take care of you, get out. I didn't know what to do, so I came back. What do you want me to do? I said, don't worry, let me see what I can do. Come home first. So I brought her to my house. Stay here, I said. I went to Rammohan Rao Garu, who was managing the ashram in those days. I said, sir, Seshamma Garu is like this. She was cooking for us. She's a wonderful lady. Why don't you help her? He is having a handicapped daughter in ashram. He said, let her come and take care of my daughter. I will give her food and all. Let her stay with me. I will give some job. And by that time, my mother-in-law shifted to our place. Immediately, she got a place in ashram. She was living there. After some time, Rammohan Rao Garu said, no, I can't. Because he engaged the other two people. Finally, Rammohan Rao said, Gangadhara Sastry, I can do one thing. We are having some people in the shed at the back of the ashram. We are giving accommodation to people who don't have any relations at all. And ashram will take care of their requirements totally, completely. Their stay, their food, their breakfast, their lunch, their medical aid, everything will be taken care of. A cubicle is built. In that cubicle, she can live and all that. And she shifted to that cubicle 10 years back or so. She's still there in that cubicle and she receives all attention by ashram. Indirectly, let me tell you, Swami is taking care of her totally today. She's staying there. What we have, We have a fear in our minds. What will happen in future? What will happen to me in future if I don't accumulate more and more money? Let me tell you, there are multi-millionaires who lost everything and became paupers. What happened to all their money? To give you one example, what happened to Mukesh Ambani? Anil Ambani is fine. Mukesh Ambani lost all his business. What is happening to Adani today? Where is he? Money will not. Your faith in God can give you anything in this world. God will be with you 24 hours. Why? He is in the form of spirit. Bhagavan Baba said, when I leave the body, I am spread into the universe. I spread into the universe everywhere. You can just connect. You can connect to him. He will come to your house. He will take care of your needs and all. The only thing Bhagavan Baba repeatedly said, Lord Krishna said, Lord Rama said, everybody said this. The only simple thing you must have is faith. Total faith. With the total faith, surrender to God. Don't have any doubts. He will take care. Do you think we are taking care of ourselves in this world? I ask myself a question. Gangadhara Sastry, you did MA Political Science, which is the most useless subject in the world. Nobody reads it actually. A lot of people read history, psychology, philosophy. Wow, what is the use of these subjects? You don't get jobs. There are many people who don't get jobs actually. With MA Political Science, I got a job. I came to ashram. I am living with Bhagwan. At the same time, a lot of people who pursued engineering, they are on the roads. They don't have jobs. There are MBBS doctors who don't have jobs. MBA boys, millions of them don't have jobs. What is that? We are watching multi-millionaires becoming paupers. Paupers becoming multi-millionaires in this world. Who is making? Are we making it? It's not absolutely in our hands. There is a proverb in Telugu. Pandita putraha paramasuntaha. Pandita putraha. His father is a great scholar and this fellow is just stupid. At the same time, there are a number of stupids whose children are panditas. I hear news sometimes. Auto Wala's daughter topped MSET. She got a seat in a great engineering college. Auto Wala's daughter. Rickshaw Wala's daughter. Peon's children study very good. Officers' children really get into drugs. How can we? And so, don't have doubts at all. Have full faith. No fear. Most important thing is to be fearless in this world. Swami Vivekananda did not touch money all his life. He never touched money. As a matter of principle, sannyasi is not supposed to touch, so he did never touch currency at all. He went around the whole world. He is worshipped everywhere. Bhagavan Baba did not touch money. Do you know that? Bhagavan Baba never touched money. Whenever people tried to give him money, what he said, don't give me money. You have to send it to the trust account. I am not going to touch money. There is no account. There is no account in Bhagavan Sathya Sai Baba's name. There is a Sathya Sai Central Trust account. So, don't have any fear that you are on the road laid by Bhagavan Baba is enough. Swami will take care of you. You are with Swami. Have faith in Swami. Swami will take care of you to the hilt. He will take care of your needs. He will bring everything. Tyagaraja's daughter's marriage was performed by Sri Ramachandra, not Tyagaraja. Got it?
Sai Ram, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Wonderful, sir. Absolutely. Very straight on. Where when the mind does not have fear, faith exists.
That's
or
all.
Faith develops.
That's correct, sir.
Faith develops.
Sir, 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Somebody is knocking, sir.
Sure. Arno. So nice to have you back. Long time.
Nice to join you all. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Nothing
sir.
at all.
Sorry for
I would have missed Sir's talk.
Wonderful. No one realizes when you step out on a journey, but then as the journey happens, you realize that there's so much that you learn from it. But as Brother Gururaj says, it's not just about satsangs, it's about constant recharge. I think Brother Professor Shastri has beautifully summed up. You have Radio Sai, which has a media center rather, which has all that you need to listen to. It's your role to tune in. When you tune in, you can hear. Tuning in is in your hands, and as you said, spiritual growth is also in your hands. It is only the path that Swami shows. It is the road that he shows. Lots of people here. I think, Brother Sairaj, you probably had a few things coming in from a PhD point today, so you know what I'm talking about. Every one of us in the satsang gets our answers for questions that run in our mind, and that is the beauty of just staying connected. With Swami's grace, we will continue this on a monthly basis on the last Sunday of each month, so that it's a fixed date. And I have to thank Swami for getting the series back on. And as always, we leave a satsang totally charged. There's so many things that you want to do. Let's go back and try and put one thing into practice at the end of the day. I think that's the baby step that we can take. And my gratitude to you, sir, and to Swami for making this happen. Until the next Sairam to all, and until the next satsang, we'll finish off with Samasta Lokas for now. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba Ji ki
Jai. Thank you very
Sairam
much, sir.
everyone. Sairam
Thank you.
everyone.